Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one west. They're one west. They're one west. They're
Whoop! Whoop! We gon' change the world, we won't let it change us. Even when they switch sides and they wanna change up. Fucking with my brother, then your life in danger. Got no fear like I got one in the chamber. Since day one, we been about it, nigga. I've been going hard since the day that I found it. It's 144 to the day the Lord counted. I'ma keep my head up to the day that he crowned it now. Since day one, we been about it, nigga. I've been going hard since the day that I found it. It's 144 to the day the Lord counted. I'ma keep my head up to the day that he crowned it. They want a fame, they want a clout. That's why they doubt. I got them black, I want a class. And I shut my mouth. This was way before polite. Before I came to campsites, I came broken and contrite. I just wanted to live right, clean my soul and give my life. Had to give up all my vice. I got a fog out my head. I was raised from the dead. I put down that weed and I cut off my dreads. For before I could lead, I had to learn to be led. Now I'm a bad motherfucker. Walk around and I straight flex on suckers. No one specific, I'm talking to all of you busters. Straight from the gutter, me and my brother, we the long supper. Now, running it like a conductor. Hebrew Academy, I'm the instructor. 14 written all on my cover. Men of war like we hopped at a Hummer. Look like you wanted my trooper could cut you. There is one camp, there is not another. One West, UPK. One West, UPK. One West, one West, one West, UPK. One what? UPK. One what? UPK. One what? One what? One what? UPK. Me and all of my Oyes, hold it, shit down, right here, all day. Shalom, wagwan, sa. All I say is we, damn niggas, y'all too, sabe, hey. We gon' change the world, we won't let it change us. Even when they switch sides and they wanna change up. Fucking with my brother, then your life in danger. Got no fear like I got one in the chamber. Since day one, we been about it, nigga. I've been going hard since the day that I found it. It's 144 to the day the Lord counted. I'ma keep my head up to the day that he crowned it now. Since day one, we been about it, nigga. I've been going hard since the day that I found it. It's 144 to the day the Lord counted. I'ma keep my head up to the day that he crowned it.
All right. Okay. All right. Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. One West started out of Harlem, New York on 125th Street. And since 1969, we are not affiliated. We have not been affiliated with any other Israelite camp or group or Christian church. All right. Never have been, never will be. We teach the truth about the Bible, about the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. And tonight I'm here to bring out gather yourselves together is critical. All right. Gather yourselves together is critical. All right. No, we're pretty early tonight. Who we got in here? We actually on time. All right. All right. Actually on time. All right. Who we got in here? I see we got some sisters. All right. We got some brothers in here. All right. Shalom, Yahushua, Thaba Hashem Yahushai. Sister Hadasah checking in from North Virginia. Shalom, sis. We have Sister Zara I. Shalom, Yahushua, Thaba Hashem Yahushai. Princess Zara I. Officer Thousand checking in. Just Virginia. Mashalamka. I'm Tawab. Mashalamka to you. I'm Tawab. Tawab for asking. We have Officer Tazah 1000. Shalom, Yahaba Hashem Yahshua Barakatah, Officer Tazah 1000, Kara checking in from Chester, Virginia. And also we have Officer Carl Sapar. Shalom, Yahaba Hashem Yahshua Barakatah, Officer Carl Sapar checking in. All right. So with that, so for right now, right, we're gonna go ahead and clap it up. We're about to start class. We're about to get it on. We're about to start class, and we're about to get it on, man. All right. All right. So again, Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, One West, started out of Harlem, New York. We are not affiliated with any other Christian church or Israelite camp or group. We teach the truth about the Bible, about the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians today. And tonight, I'm here to bring out gathering yourselves together is critical. All right. Also, we have Officer Yagadar. Shalom, Yahaba Hashem Yahshua Barakatah, also 500 Yagadar checking in from Prince George, Virginia. All right. So we on time tonight. Listen, it's enough time, right? This is going to be enough time to go over some things that, you know, that's needed to go over. All right. So for right now, all right, let's get a little warm-up going on. All right. Let's get a little warm-up going on. Okay. So we know that this is a time of the year for what? What is about to happen? What's about to happen within the next week or weeks? All right. What's about to happen? I love teaching class around this time. Right. I love teaching class every day, every time. Right. But I love teaching class around here. What's about to happen? Who could tell me, you know, who could tell me in the chat, you know, what's about to happen? Right? What's about to happen here? And you know, we all know what's about to happen, all right? And until you know more people trickle on in here, right? All right. Give me your answer on what's about to happen within the next week, right? Or 2 weeks. What's about to happen? This is the season, this is the reason for the season. Right? Lord, I'm just so thankful to make it through the year. Hallelujah. Right? Right? Lord, thank you for giving me grace and mercy to make it through the year. I'm so thankful. What's about to happen? Right? And I'm happy to be the first to open it up. All right? The first to open up this scab. All right. What's about to happen? Okay. Now just for time's sake, right? Right, because I believe this the history class. So like if I'm not mistaken, you know, Monday is history, Tuesday is brotherhood. All right. You know, what's about to happen within the next week or two, okay, is Thanksgiving, right? People is about to go out and buy turkeys. Their job is about to give them turkeys Their slavery is about to get them turkeys just so they can, you know, cook them goddamn turkeys and everything, right? Then also y'all got all them damn holidays, all right, all right. That's what's about to happen within the next week, all right. Everybody's about to go out, right? Arguments is about to happen. Arguments is about to happen. Why are these arguments about to happen? Because you did not make it to dinner. You did not go get the ham hock and pig feet. You want to stop eating it. You stopped eating the bacon, right? And you didn't want to go get the snow crabs or the shrimp for the Rasta pasta. You is about to get a cussing out from your aunties, your grandmas, right? And your uncles, right? You cannot no more go out before dinner and smoke some weed with your favorite cousin. All right? You cannot do that anymore. You cannot go out to get high just so you can have munchies right in time for grandma's cooking at Thanksgiving dinner. Right? Shalom, sis. Shalom, your house. I thought about some y'all shy. Sister Rhonda, all right, checking in from Hampton, Virginia. All right. You cannot do that no more. Right? You can't do that. You can't go out and try to get zooted before you fill your belly. Right? That is unlawful. Right? And what make it crazy, right? Is that all these other religions besides Christianity and besides Islam, but all these other religions recognize Thanksgiving. Recognize Thanksgiving. Doesn't matter if you're Catholic, Christian, Protestant, Mormon, Quaker. Damn, them Quakers, damn sure. We will get into that too. All right. If you just so woke in the world, still with them crystals around your neck, right? They still believe in Thanksgiving. This is the year to be thankful. Right? Right? So that's why it's important for us to gather ourselves together. Right? That's why it's important for us to gather ourselves together. Why? Because us gather ourselves together, right? Us gather ourselves together, right? We're going to show true brotherhood and sisterhood, right? Of not celebrating these holidays, of not going out to smoke weed with our favorite cousin just to get ready to eat Thanksgiving dinner, right? We don't have to feel bad because we didn't get the ice or the pork and the chitlins. We ain't clean the chitlins. Right. We ain't got to do that. All right. We ain't got to do that. All right. So let me get let's get Amos 3:1 real quick before I go to this scripture. I want to make sure I want to do this in order. Let me get Amos 3:1 real quick. And shalom, sis. Shalom, Yahweh Shema, thought by Shem Yahweh Shai, Property River, Officer 1,000 times our Korah, checking in for Chester, Virginia. Shalom, sis. All right. All right. Okay, yeah, just good look. You keep it just like that. You keep it just like nope, keep it just like that. The water. You keep it just like that. All right. So first we need to establish All right. And there's nothing but milk right here. First, we need to establish, right, who is the most high for. Okay. So we go to Amos 3:1. All right. It says, hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, meaning what? Hear this, listen, right? And hear this word that the Most High is about to break down to you, is about to tell you, all right? That has spoken to you, right, against you, right? So it says, hear this word that the Most High has spoken against you, meaning the Lord is saying something against the people he's talking to, right? The word you does not mean everybody, all right? It does not mean everybody. The Christian church will see the word you and think the word means everybody, right? However, God identifies who these people he's speaking to throughout the whole Bible, all right? Christianity will have you confused on who God is speaking to, all right? Because they don't know the Bible, all right? And it's proven that they don't know the Bible because they ready to put up their Christmas trees. They ready to celebrate how their Thanksgiving service, right? They ready to sing and shout on Thanksgiving Day. They ready to have a testimony period, right? Where they just get up in church and they just whoever got a testimony, come tell God how thankful you are. And they're ready to walk up to that stage or get that mic and just tell and just explain how grateful the Most High been to them, how thankful the Most High been to them, right? Which is totally false, right? That's why it's important when we go out on these streets or before we teach these classes. It's important that when before we even teach, before we even break down anything, we say that we are not affiliated with any other Israelite group or Christian church. We ain't affiliated with them. We're preaching the Bible how the way they supposed to be teaching it, right? But they are not authorized to teach, right? The only people that's authorized to teach is the men in the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge. That's who the Most High authorized to teach this word, to teach this truth. That's why it's important to come into this truth and learn this history, all right? So hear this word that the Most High have spoken against you, right? O children of Israel, okay? O children of Israel. God is speaking to the blacks, Latinos, right? And native Indians, man. That's who the Most High is speaking to. He's speaking to the so-called black Latinos and native Indians when he says, O children of Israel. Not, O children of Edom, not, O children of Ammon, not, O children of the Moabites, not, O children of the Canaanites, right? You see how specific the Most High is getting here? He's saying, O children of Israel. He didn't say, O children. No, he said, O children of Israel. That preposition of, right, is leading you to that noun, Israel. Okay? It goes on to say, against the whole family, meaning this is one people, against the whole family, right? This is one people, right? This is not all the families or every family, right? Right? It's not that. This is just one family, the blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. That is our family, right? We were with each other in the beginning and went through the same bloodline. We all have the same forefather and the same God. We all have the same history, past, present, and future. So like, no matter what language we are speaking in, our land that we are living, or land that we are living in, right? We are one family, right? And it goes on to say, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, right? Saying, he brought up us from Egypt, right? Where we were held captive for hundreds of years, right? Edom wasn't held captive in Egypt. So now you know he's specifically talking to the Israelites, right? Because only the Israelites was brought up from the land of Egypt. Okay? It's all gonna make sense in a moment, right? Just like how we were in Egypt now, right? We've been in captivity for hundreds of years again. That's why if you love your dollar bill, that's why if you look at your dollar bill, you see the all-seeing eye, right? The all-seeing eye of Horus, right? That's the Egyptian symbol. You will also see the pyramid, which is the Washington Monument, which is an Egyptian obelisk, right? We celebrate the Passover because the Lord delivered us from Egypt by wiping out our enemies, right? He took their lives to free our lives, right? Shalom, sis. Shalom, Yahweh Shema Bashem Yahushai, says the borrower checking in from Richmond, Virginia. Shalom, sis. Shalom, Yahweh Shema Bashem Yahushai, Sister Zara Carr, River Property of Officer 50 Yabakar, checking in from North Virginia. All right. Right. So it says again, hear this word that the Most High have spoken against you, O children of Israel, right? Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, right? Right? Saying what? Right? You only have I known of all the families of the earth, right? He's letting you know, hey, I only known you. I only know you. I only chose you. I only love you. I'm only speaking to you, so-called Black, Latino, and Native Indian man or woman, right? He says, you only have I known. He didn't say you Moabites, you Canaanites and Ammonites, the Edomites, right? The Ishmaelites, right? He didn't say that. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. And it goes on to say, therefore, right? I will punish you for all your iniquities. Meaning, like what? I will punish you for all of your sins, right? So, which leads me into this. It is a sin to celebrate these holidays because you're going against the Most High. It is a sin, right, to put up that Christmas tree or to put up that wreath because you're going against the Most High. It is a sin, right, to feel nervous because you know that you don't want to do Thanksgiving no more. Right? You got that sin of fear. That's you got that fear, right? Because you're going to do what you're supposed to do by not celebrating these holidays, but you feeling like that you owe somebody something. You owe somebody an explanation or something, right? You don't need to have that type of feeling, right? Because you're also going to transgress and go celebrate that holiday, right? So again, he delivered us from Egypt, and that's a very important thing because as black people associate skin color with race, right? Blacks associate your identity with the color of your skin. That's why color in the Bible is important. That's why it's important for it's important to come in here because you will understand that there is color in this Bible, that your God is black, that Christ is black. The priests and prophets throughout this whole Bible is black. That's why it's important to come into the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. So you would not only know to not celebrate these holidays, right? You will also know that, hey, the God I'm worshiping is black. He's like me, and I'm like him. I'm made in the image of him, right? This is why color in the Bible is important, right? And things are illustrated in such a way so that you know what this is talking about, right? The majority of the planet are made up of people with some sort of brown skin color, right? That's why it's important to get about that Christian church and come into the Israelite School University of Practical Knowledge, right? Real quick, let me get Zephaniah 2:1, right? Get Zephaniah 2:1. Just because we have to gather ourselves together. All right. So Zephaniah 2:1, right? Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. We is the only nation, right? That's not desired. Think about it. Think about it. If you go back in history, right, and you think about the transatlantic slave trade, all these different uh the diaspora, what is the transatlantic slave trade. If you think about all these different things that was going on, right, it was towards people of color, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, right? Right? We ain't desire. I mean, we desire for our just the slave and do labor and work, but we ain't looked at as no type of, you know, in the oppressor as some type of just great people, right? We ain't looked at just like some royalty to them, even though we really are, right? That's why it's important to gather ourselves together, right? We have feast days in here in the Israelite School University of Practical Knowledge, right? That's why it's important to come to class and learn them, right? We gather ourselves, right, the right and proper way, right? You're not going to see no white man or no Chinese man, no Japanese man, no East Indian man or woman, right? In none of our gatherings, none, right? I want to go to take me down to verse through. Let me see. Take me down to. I'm gonna just read over two, but I wanna go on three. I'm gonna read. You can keep it like that. You can keep it like that. You can keep it like that. All right. Before the decree bring forth. What does decree mean? What does decree mean? Before the decree, right, brings forth. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation that not desired, before the decree bring forth. What does decree mean? Shalom, brother Shalom, Yahabashim Yashabakata, Chumakar Ya'ala, checking in from Richmond, Virginia. Shalom, brother. What does decree mean? Who would give me that? I know we just now tuning in, we just now coming in, checking in, right? The topic is gathering yourselves together is critical, right? That's the topic, right? And right now, we went from Amos 3:1, right? And now we on Zephaniah 2:1, right? So you coming in right on time. So we first open up with, okay, gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desire. Now we on verse 2. Before the decree bring forth. The question is, what does decree mean? What does decree mean? Give y'all some time to be interactive. All right. What does decree mean? Decree. Right. I know my sisters got it. I know my girl My sister, Princess Tar Boff is in here. She'd be, what does decree mean? Also, it's important to have a Merriam-Webster dictionary by you or download it on your phone so you can easily access the meanings of these words, right? You can easily access the meanings of these words anytime a priest and prophet, just want to ask you what does these words mean. You don't have to get on Wikipedia, right? This is a trusted source, the Merriam-Webster dictionary, right? Is one book that we should have besides all the other books. All right. To demand. Okay. All right. To demand. All right. This Sister Amadah. Okay. Shalom sis. Shalom Yahweh Shema Thai Bashem Yahweh Shah. Sister Amadah checking in the class. All right. Shalom you sis. We have Sister Tawana. Shalom Yahweh Shema Thai Bashem Yahweh Shah. Sister Tawana. Rib and property of Trooper Sariala. Checking in from Chesapeake, Virginia. Okay. Shalom sis. All right. So she said to demand. All right. She said to demand. Is there one more before I expound this word? All right. That's a good. That's good to demand. Okay. To demand. That's a tawab. That's a tawab, man. To demand. Let's get more. Let's get more. Let's pinpoint it a little bit more. Let's pinpoint it a little bit more. And again, if you have this Merriam-Webster dictionary, it's a cheat code. It get right to you, right? Right? A decree. Damn right, says Zarukagi. That's Sister Ham. Salaki, sir. An order usually having the force of law, right? That's what decree means. Right? Damn right. She got around that Merriam-Webster dictionary. Damn right, sis. Right? An order usually having a force of law. So the Most High saying, gather yourselves together, gather together, O nation not desire before this law is about to be brought forth. Right? Before the decree bring forth, before this law is about to be forced. Right? Before the day pass as the shaft. What is a shaft?
Lucky.
You said Salaki, sir?
Nah, we're sneezing.
Oh, okay. God. Shaft. What does shaft? CHAFF. Shaft mean? We can't just run over these words, right? We can't just run over these words and just go over the words that we do know. Right? Shaft. So it says, before the decree bring forth, before the law bring forth, before the day pass as the shaft, right? So, and here it says in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, shaft is being used as a noun. Says the seed coverings and other debris separated from the seed in the threshing grain, something comparatively worthless. The scales borne on the receptacle among the florets of the heads of many composite plants. So basically, it's something that's going to ruin, right? Basically, something that's about to be gone and just about to be decayed and just about to be just in rocks, just in shambles, right? So basically, the Lord is saying, before the law is being brought forth, before He forced this law, before the day pass as the sham, meaning like when He gonna come and force this law, right? He gonna come in and things gonna be in distraught. It's gonna be in shambles, right? Before the fierce anger of the Most High come upon you, it is lawful to gather yourselves together in the way that the Most High wants you to do it. It is lawful to gather yourselves together. What we got? Hanukkah, right? coming up, December 14th, right? That's when we're gonna gather ourselves together and we're gonna feast and we're gonna do things in order first. We're gonna feast, we're gonna be merry amongst each other because this is our day. This is our day to gather ourselves together. This is our day to gather together as a family. This is our day for the sisters to cook food and make sure it's prepared. It's our day for the men in the school to make sure the school is in Tawab shape for this our feast day to be in Tawab order, right? So before the decree bring forth, before this law is being enforced, before the Most High gonna come back and bring this damn American Babylonian world to shambles, right? Before the fears of the Most High come before you, meaning what? You need to gather yourselves, right? Right? For all these laws, statutes, and commandments, or you're gonna be part of this anger that the Most High is gonna bring. You're gonna be part of this anger that the Most High is gonna on how the Most High is gonna leave this world to shambles. You're gonna be part of that, right? Before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you, get yourself right, get yourself together, gather together in brotherhood and sisterhood. How does that look by gathering yourselves together, right? Gather yourselves together not only mean, okay, gather yourselves together on feast days, but if we gathering ourselves together, we're making sure that we don't transgress against this law. We're making sure that we don't go out and feel weak and celebrate and feel weak and buy in to what our grandmas and aunties and uncles and mamas and dads are saying about how we should celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? Gathering yourselves together is how it looks on Saturdays when we go out for camp, right? Gather yourselves together is how it look, right? When we do Sabbath service. Gather yourselves together is how it look when we are in class. Gather yourselves together is how it looks when we are making sure that we are correcting each other, right? That we make sure that we have the proper attire on when we are around each other. Make sure that we do have our fringes on, right? Make sure that the women do have their head coverings on, whatever case, what the case may be, right? Gather yourselves together is important because it keeps everyone on one accord, right? And it keeps everyone from not transgressing against this law, right? Because when the Most High comes back, right, he's coming back to destroy.
Hey, Salaki Priest.
Okay.
Is that your mic doing that? It's making like a sound, like a buzzing sound, like some cicadas outside.
Do it sound different now?
Yeah, it sounds a lot different now. Kind of.
So it sounds better?
Yeah, it sounds better. I don't know what. Maybe you did something. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Okay, calm. Okay. Yep. The water.
Oh yeah, no, I never got the water to you.
So if we go down to verse 3, right? If we go down to verse 3, right, it says, seek ye the Lord, right? Right? Seek ye the Lord, right? Look to the Lord, man. Right? Seek ye the Most High. Seek him. And how do we seek him? Let's see who's still in here. How do we seek the Most High? By doing what? How do we seek the Most High? What we got to do to seek the Most High? How do we seek the Most High? Right? How do we seek the Most High? And it's an easy answer. It's an easy answer. How do we seek the Most High? We seek the Most High by following the laws. Damn right, Chumakar Yala. By following the laws. by following the laws, statutes, and commandments. Damn right. Damn right. Damn right, Sister Hadasah. Right? By following the laws, statutes, and commandments. That's how we seek the Most High. Right? All ye meek of the earth. Now, here's another word. All right. I guess this is a class we got to have our dictionaries, right? All ye meek of the earth. Now, before I ask you what the word meek mean, let me get a 1 in the chat if you know what meek mean, or let me get a 2 in the chat if you don't know what the word meek mean. Real quick. Let me get a 1 in the chat. Don't even look the word up. Let me get a 1 in the chat if you already know what meek mean, or let me get a 2 in the chat if you do not know what meek mean. Okay. So the Hadasah said, yeah, I know. She said she know what meek mean. Okay. You know, okay. So the Hadasah said she know what meeks mean. Most High Christ. Who else know what meek mean? Or who don't know what meek mean? Okay. Okay. We know what meek mean. All right. Now, since we know what meek mean, what does meek mean? For the people that say they know it, what does meek mean? Because maybe we can help our others. Well, we're going to help out others, actually. For ones that don't know what meek mean. Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth. Okay. So now the son said quiet, submissive. Okay. 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 All right. That's right. Being quiet, submissive, right? That's right. Being quiet, submissive. What's a give me that's the right one. That's the right answer. Give me another word. I'm looking for another word. I'm looking for another word. Give me a synonym. Give me a synonym for that. Y'all right. Give me a synonym. Give me a synonym for submissive. Or that's what I give that brother. Damn right, Chumakar, y'all are humble. And damn right, sisters. Damn right, Sister Tawana. Damn right, Sister Hadasah. Right on it. I wanted that word humble, right? Right? Y'all was Tawab, which y'all answer Tawab answers, right? Humble, all ye humble of the earth, right? Right? Which have wrought his judgment, right? Wrought. What does wrought mean? Right? Well, wrought. Which have wrought his judgment. Which have used, right? Which have used his judgment, right? Which have shapen up, like which have used, which have wrought his judgment. So seek ye the Lord, all ye humble of the earth, which have wrought his judgment, right? Seek righteousness, seek meekness, right? It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. So if you seek the Most High by following these laws, statutes, and commandments, right? All humble men and women on this earth, there's Black, Latino, and Native Indian, there's in this Israelite school, university, practical knowledge, right? Which have wrought his judgment, right? Which have seeked righteousness. You seeking righteousness by following these laws, statutes, and commandments. You're seeking righteousness by not celebrating these holidays, right? Because you celebrating these holidays, you don't know the real history behind it. And tonight I'm going to expound on the history behind one of these holidays, which is Thanksgiving. Right? Now we may know the we may know like some history on it. We may know, yeah, the Quakers, right? The Europeans came over and took over the native Indian land. Okay, cool. Right? Right? But it's some deeper, it goes deeper than it. It's like a little, it's deeper than rap. This is like this is like the surface of it. This is like the surface. But once you study more and go deep into Thanksgiving, right? You would just know that it's just like it's it's devilish. It's barbaric. I don't want to say, I don't want to sound Christian, say devilish. It's evil, right? So seek ye the Lord, right? All ye meek of the earth, all ye humble of the earth, which have wrought his judgment, right? Which know his judgment, that shape that you know his judgment, you shape, you know what he's gonna do, right? Seek righteousness, seek meekness, humbleness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord anger. So if you do these things, you're going to be hid, you're going to be protected in the Lord's anger, in the day of the Lord's anger, right? Because why is the Lord coming? Why is the Most High Power coming back angry? He's coming back angry because it's people out here that's transgressing against the law and that's thinking that they is doing the right thing. He's coming back angry because you got priests and prophets teaching on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, trying to give out this truth, and they still want to combat it, right? And still celebrate these holidays, right? They still want to adopt. They still want to adopt these feast days that the oppressor, right, has ordained for you to worship, right? Shalom, Yahabashim Yashabakata, Trubayam Pakat, checking in from West Virginia. All right. Shalom, Yahabashim Bashim Yabashah says Pakat, property rib of Ayam Pakat, checking in from Rice, Virginia. Right? Right? You do these things, you seek the Most High, you're going to be protected when he come and he starts slaughtering things and bring everything to shambles. Right? That's why it's important to get into this school. All right. Now, let's see. Let's go to let's go to that, and just to bring it, because I'm gonna go back and forth here. So take me to that first article, the true dark history of Thanksgiving. Because I'm gonna go back and forth. I'm gonna go back and forth in scripture, but I wanna bring more things to full circle here. All right. So let's get that first article out here. All right. Okay. So we have the true and dark history of Thanksgiving. All right. True and dark history of Thanksgiving. All right. This was published November 25th, 2020. So this right here is a reliable source. Is not outdated 10 plus years. Okay. The website that this article was from a .org website, right? This is a scholarly source. So this website was from Potawatomi.org, right? So this is an educational source, right? So anytime that you want to look for factual information, you go to scholarly sources. So those are your .orgs, your .edus, right? Those type of things, right? Your .coms will be well, it's scholarly, but you have to know where it's coming from, right? Like history.com, Brentica.com, like those type of sources, right? Will have some type of scholarly source. They use .com, right? Those are, scholarly, but you have to just make sure, it's not from no Wikipedia is not scholarly, right? It's not, right? Wikipedia, you could change things on Wikipedia to make it factual, right? To make it seem factual. So that's why it's important to get information and from scholarly sources, encyclopedias, things of that nature, right? So this is the true and dark history of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. So just the first paragraph I got it here. It says, although Potawatomi and others across the United States celebrate Thanksgiving, the factual history behind the holiday is something to be less than thankful for. While communing with loved ones and showing appreciation for the bounties and gifts provided is one positive aspect of the national holiday, teaching a false narrative of its beginnings perpetuates colonialism and ignores more than 400 years of atrocities committed against Native Americans and First Nations people. So that line where it says, while communing with loved ones and showing appreciation, that sounds like Christianity right there. A Christian reading this article be like, yeah, that's what we do it for. We thankful just to see each other. We thankful for this, that, and the third. Yeah, that's what we do it for, right? And they will stop right there and wouldn't even want to read the rest, right? Because this scholarly source is going to tell you why this holiday that you're celebrating is evil, right? The second paragraph says it disregards the centuries of brutality, right, against Native, I'm gonna say Indians because it says Americans, against Native Indians, and chooses to take this one tiny snapshot, and in the world of social media, it puts all the pretty filters on it that it doesn't look the way that it truly did, said Dr. Kelly Mosteller, a citizen Potawatomi Nation's Cultural Heritage Center director. All right. I'm gonna skip down, right? I'm gonna skip down. I'm gonna tell you where I want to go. Uh yep, and it's gonna lead me right here. The formation, what says the formation of Thanksgiving, right? All right. So bear with me here. So the formation of Thanksgiving as an official United States holiday did not begin until November 1863 during the Civil War. President Abraham Lincoln officially established the holiday as a way to improve relations between northern and southern states, as well as the U.S. and tribal nations. Just a year prior, stay with me here, a mass execution took place of Dakota tribal members, right? Corrupt federal agents kept a Dakota Sioux from receiving food and provisions. Finally, at the brink of unaliving from starvation, members of the tribe fought back, resulting in the Dakota War of 1862. How many of us, let me get a one in the chat if you know anything about the Dakota War of 1862. Let me get a one or two. Let me get a one or two. Let me get a one if you knew about the Dakota War of 1862, or let me get a two in the chat if you did not know anything about the Dakota War of 1862. And while you typing your one in the, or your two in the chat, right, I'm going to read the rest of that paragraph, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna lead you there. Okay. So it says, in the end, President Lincoln ordered 38 Dakota men to unalive, right, to be unalived from hanging. And he felt that Thanksgiving offered an opportunity to bridge the hard feelings among natives and the federal government. right? We're gonna give you Thanksgiving. We're gonna give you Thanksgiving just to, yo, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, right? Now we got a lot of twos, we got 1-1. So if I could, Baba Kashah, can I get that article on the U.S. Dakota War of 1862? If I could, Baba Kashah, right? The U.S. This is why it's important. This is why it's important, right? To not be a part of the Christian church, to not go into your own understanding, because Proverbs 14:12 just tell you that, going to your own understanding, right, going to lead you to destruction, lead you to underlife, and lead you to death, right? So that's why it's important not to go into your own understanding, not to have them crystals around your neck or try to serve these other gods, right? Because you don't know what you're celebrating. But in here, we know what we worship. Oh, man. We know what we worship in here. Them Christians and them pretzels out there, they don't know what they worship. Obviously. Right? Okay. So this right here, right? This right here is the U.S. Dakota War of 1862, right? And I'm gonna flip-flop back and forth. I just want to give y'all a good little, a good little rounded education, right, on this Dakota War of 1862 real quick. So the causes of the U.S. Dakota War of 1862 were many, and it remains one of the most important events in Minnesota history. Right? We out in the Midwest. Okay. The effects of the war can still be felt today. All right, we're gonna scroll down. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna go to, let's see. Let me see what I want to go to. Let's go. Let's scroll down to where it says, let's go to where it says removal of Dakota and Ho Chunk. Because I really want to get to, I just want to get to the meat and potatoes from with it. There's a lot to unpack in this article, but for the sake of this class, I want get to the meat and potatoes to it, right? It says, let me see. It's a lot in here. So let's go. It says removal of Dakota and Ho Chunk. So on February 16th, so this was a war, all right. On February 16th, and I'm gonna get more into it, Congress passed an act that abrogated and annulled all treaties with the Dakota people. The act also stated that all lands held by the Dakota and all annuities due to them were forfeited to the U.S. government. A second bill providing for the removal of the Dakota from their ancestral homelands passed on March 3rd, 1863. The aftermath of the U.S. Dakota War of 1862 also engulfed the Ho Chunk, who were living at Blue Earth at the time of war. The desire of colonists to remove all Indians from Minnesota led to a similar bill to evict Ho Chunk, who had been uninvolved in the war but resided on prime agricultural land that colonists wished to obtain. Who are the colonists? Who are the colonists? The colonizers. Who are them? In early May, the Army put the Dakota captives from the Fort Snelling camp aboard streamers and took them to a desolate reservation at Crow Creek, Dakota Territory. The removal of the Ho Chunk people coincided with that of Dakota. For a brief time, the U.S. Army held hundreds of Ho-Chunk at Fort Snelling before they too were removed from the state. All right. Right. So basically, these are oppressors taking land, right? Taking land, right? And not only we're gonna take your land, we're gonna move you from your land. You can't stay here no more. You can't stay here. This ain't your land. Not only I'm gonna take your land, right? I'm gonna unalive you, take your land, right? And you also can't stay here. You got to go somewhere else. So how dare President Abraham Lincoln try to say, okay, Thanksgiving, try to bring the Native Indians together with the federal government, knowing that this ain't no Thanksgiving. You can't try to pat me on our back for you trying to be nice to us, patting us on the back after you don't took us and unalived us, took our land. What we supposed to do with that? Right? It says the aftermath and the execution of Sekpedin and Wakawan Ozanzan, right? I'm going to that subheading, sir. It's a lot. Right? It's a lot in here. Right? It's a lot in here. Right? I just want to just get to like fast forward. So it says after the U.S. government forcibly removed the non-combatant Dakota from Minnesota, the war against Dakota entered a second phase, and the concentration camp at Fort Snelling served a different purpose. In the summers of 1863 and 64, the U.S. Army launched the punitive expeditions into Dakota Territory, intent on carrying war to the Dakota people. It's like you beating a dead horse now. Like, what more? Fort Snelling became a center for marshaling supplies, stock, and troops for these efforts. From the spring of 1863 into the late summer of 1864, Dakota who had surrendered or been captured by the Army were held at Fort Snelling stockade before being exiled from Minnesota. Right? Now, what more you want us to do? How much more you going to try to unalive us here, right? Shalom, Yahabashim Yashabakata, Officer Yabakar checking in. Shalom, brother. Right? Now, what more you want us to do? Right? I think there's one more here I want to touch on. That's why it's important, right? That's why it's important, right? To come to this Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. Because you celebrating Thanksgiving, right? You celebrating Thanksgiving, right? Is you celebrating the slaughter of your brothers and your sisters, right? You celebrating them getting their land took. You're celebrating them of getting unalived and hanged. That's what you're celebrating. You celebrating the bullying of these Europeans coming here and taking their land. You shaking hands with the enemy. You just saying that this holiday, this for the family to get together. I ain't see so and so in a while. I ain't see this then her in a while, him in a while, right? You're celebrating the unaliving of your brothers and your sisters. That's why it's important to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, because you don't want to be a part of the Lord's anger. All right? You don't want to be part of that. Right? Let me get let me see. Okay, let me go back to my article, right? Let me go back to where it says a true dark history of Thanksgiving. I know I'm a flip-flop. I want to, all right, and I want to go to the subheading. I want to go to the subheading where it says disease. Right? I want to go to the subheading where it says disease. Right? All right. Okay. So disease, right? So it says prior to European arrival, right? Prior means what? Before. Prior to European arrival, America's indigenous, talking about the Indians, did not experience illnesses attributed to livestock, which is animals, overcrowding, or poor hygiene. So these thinking people, unclean people, came over here bringing all these illnesses, right? Residents of the of Northern Europe, listen to this. Residents of Northern Europe and England rarely bathed, right? They rarely bathed, believing it unhealthy. They believed that bathing was unhealthy, and rarely removed all their clothing at one time, believing 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 it immodest. Lewin wrote in Lies My Teachers Told Me. The pilgrims smelled bad to the Indians. Sequanto tried without success to teach them to bathe, according to Phoenix Zinnier, his biographer. In fact, 3 years before the pilgrims landed, England, English, and French fishermen transmitted diseases to tribes as they came ashore to find fresh water, firewood, and capture Native Americans for slave trade. This is what's going on. Within 3 years, the plague wiped out 90 to 96% of the inhabitants of coastal England. Native societies were devastated. Only the 20th person is scarce left alive, wrote Robert Cushman, an English eyewitness, recording a death rate unknown in all previous human experiences. Those who survived left their communities to join others, bringing the illnesses along with them. This caused many Native Americans to perish, even though they had not encountered Europeans. Once the Pilgrims did arrive in 1620, right, the epidemics across Indian County were far from over. Throughout history, religion has served as means as justification for English separatists. It was no different. They believed the widespread unalignment and devastation of Native Americans due to disease was divine providence and that God willed them to take over the land. You're shaking hands. You're selling. You're coming in agreements with a low down dirty bastard, Salaki, right? Dirty, unclean. You want to adopt their customs, right? You want to accept their pat on the back. You easy. You 40 ball easy. You a trick. You easy, right? And you're fearful if you celebrate these holidays, right? Right? um, I believe it was one that said, let me see where it said, let me see, let me go. Let's go to. All right, so now let's scroll back up to that subheading where it says ways to combat false narratives. Ways to combat false narratives, right? and I want to scroll down to after what I read about Abraham Lincoln. I just want to finish that subheading, Salaki. I just want to finish that subheading. All right. So scroll down where it says the formation. Yep, keep going. Yep, keep going. I was talking about Abraham Lincoln. It said finding the brink of death from starvation. I had read that, and I was like, in the end, President Lincoln ordered 38 men to be unalive from hanging. And I just want to just read the rest of that. Right. So you was right when you was under ways to combat the false narratives. You was right, but just scroll down, right? Because I just want to just give y'all full understanding, right? Because the code of war that it was talking about in there was a war that the U.S. had against the Native Indians to take over land, right? Our Midwest, out in the Midwest in Minnesota, right? That it was an atrocity, right? Right. So that's why you dare won't say Happy Thanksgiving to a Native Indian, because they know that that's like you just basically slapping them. You like Abraham Lincoln. If you say that, just trying to give him a pat on the back, and when you don't have no knowledge of what's going on, you saying Happy Thanksgiving, right? And there's more to unpack on this, right? Right. So if you could just go back to it says the formation, ways to combat the false narrative, right? All right. So where we at? Let's lock you, right? Let me get a one in the chat if you know what's going on. Damn right, Sister Raj. She said like and share. Damn right, we need to like and share. We need to get this algorithm up, right? This algorithm is what's gonna have that Christian watch this live. The algorithm is gonna have this brother that's trying to learn knowledge, that's trying to learn the truth, to come in here and try to and actually see what's being taught in here, right? You liking and sharing is going to help the other sisters, going to help these other brothers that's stuck in Christianity, that's stuck in Islam, that's stuck in Buddhism, that's stuck in Hinduism, that's stuck in all these different things, that come in here and learn this truth, learn this Bible, right? Learn this history, right? Right, and have it and change their zeal to want to learn what these priests and prophets is being taught up in here. So you can go ahead and scroll down. You right now, scroll up a little bit. You twat, scroll up a little bit. All right, keep going, right there. Go up a little bit more. Right there. Yep, right there. So it says it was propaganda. Right. So what was the propaganda? Propaganda was Abraham Lincoln issuing out a day for the Dakota Indians and Indians around the world and saying, hey, we're gonna give y'all Thanksgiving. We sorry. We got your land now. We got your land and everything. All right, we sorry. All right. Now we can have peace. Now that we brought destruction to you, now we can have peace. Right? So it was propaganda, Dr. Mosteller explained, right? It was to try and build this event so that you could have a deeper narrative about community building and coming together and shared brotherhood and unity. That's a damn lie. While the Thanksgiving celebrated today may not have complete factual roots, Native Americans, Europeans, and other cultures across the world have held festivals and special meals and gratitude for bountiful harvest and to reflect on the past year. Now listen to this. See, while I ain't gonna say we, by the Christians or the oppressors being out here celebrating Thanksgiving, right? These Indians is holding powwows. These powwows is not to celebrate Thanksgiving, right? These powwows might be held throughout on this day or around this day, but it's not to celebrate Thanksgiving, right? These powwows is for them to come together, right? And for them to bring education to young ones coming up, or it's more of a culture thing For them to have people understand that like this is what we is about. We ain't about this Thanksgiving stuff, right? This is our culture. This is our heritage. This is how we was doing things before our land got taken away from us. The Native Indians, brothers and sisters, as they should, feel entitled to this land because they was here. This is their land. It was taken from them, right? Right. So now they're having not reliving, but just trying to educate others, right? Right. So they won't be swept under. So their feelings or whatever how they feel won't be swept under the rug, right? Because this day is not a day that they celebrate, right? Right. That's just like you celebrating. Matter of fact, this is like you wearing a Jesus piece. This is like you wearing a cross around your neck. Like you not only celebrating this graven image, but you just celebrating. You just, you know what I mean? You loving, you celebrating how what this represent, right? You might as well pay Christ in a damn t-shirt then. You celebrating how the unalive went. You looking at this as a glorious thing of how Christ was unalived. So you want to celebrate that. You want to put that Jesus piece around your neck. You want to tattoo that Jesus piece on you, right? You have the wrong viewpoint of how things are looked at, right? That's why it's important to come into the Israelite School University of Practical Knowledge and understand, right? Understand, renew your mind in here, right? Not by going to the Christian church and being dipped in the goddamn water, right? The renewing of your mind through these scriptures, right? So with that, let me see. Do I got anything more on that? Let me see. Do I got anything more on that I want to bring out? Let me go ahead and go to Amos 5:21, right? We'll go to Amos 5:21, Bible Kashah. It's so much to unpack on that history of Thanksgiving. I just felt like I just wanted to be the first one to open up that scab wound, because I know the priests and prophets is gonna come after me, gonna eat that up, right? Right. But I want to go to Amos 5:21. Right? Amos 5:21. Right? Because what you're doing, not but what these people are doing, these Christians out here is doing, right? They're going out here and getting everything ready for a damn holiday. They celebrating their brothers and their sisters being unalive. Again, this is like you celebrate your brother, your sister, they got shot. Or they got however they got unalive. You celebrating them every year of how they got shot, and you turning up for them, right? You turning up for them. You turning up how the way they got executed, right? Which is not right. So Amos 5:21 says, I hate, right? Hate is all throughout the Bible, right? But the Christian, they will tell you that God don't hate God don't hate and he loves everybody, right? Which he doesn't. That's why when I first started this class, I went to Amos 3:1 to show you the family that the Most High is talking about. I gave you Amos 3:1 to show you the family that the Most High is for, right? Then we went to Zephaniah 2:1, right? Talking about the importance of gathering together. That's why gathering yourselves together is critical, right? Because if we gather ourselves together, we would know that, hey, yo, we ain't supposed to be doing these things, right? This holiday was the unaliving of our brothers and sisters, was the slaughtering of our brothers and sisters, right? So it says, I hate, right? I despise your feast days. I despise your Thanksgiving dinner. I despise your Christmas dinner. I hate it. I despise it. And I will not smell in your solemn assembly. What is a solemn assembly? Now we back in the chat, right? What is a solemn assembly? Right? What is that? What's a solemn assembly? Who give me that real quick in the chat? Right? I will not smell your solemn assemblies. Right? New Year's, birthdays, Easter, etc. I hate and I despise your feast days, and I will not smell your solemn assembly. What does that mean? What does a solemn assembly mean? Who we got in here? We got some people in here. What does solemn assembly mean? Who could give it a shot? We got officers in here. We got troopers in here. We got sisters in here. Right? What is a solemn assembly? I hate, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell your solemn assembly. Right? What is that? Okay, Sister Rod said you're gathering together, right? Smell of food. Okay. Okay. Sulaki likes Thanksgiving, right? Right? Get-togethers, damn right. Your important events. Damn right. So just like what you said, obviously, y'all would call like Thanksgiving. And like what you said, Sister Ryan, your gathering together, right? Your Thanksgiving, right? Your get-togethers, right? Since you call, right? He ain't gonna smell your important events. I ain't gonna smell. I don't care how long Auntie Glenda, right? I don't care how long Auntie Glenda pray over this goddamn food. I don't care how many tongues is being spoken over this damn food. The most I say, I don't hear it. I will not smell the pig feet, the ham hock, the chitlins, the crab, shrimp, lobster, clams, oysters, the squid, calamari, your tuna, right? I'm not going to smell none of that. I hate it, actually. I hate it. I hate your get-togethers. Because I'm going to tell you why I hate it. Because you think you're doing something for me, whole time your Uncle Leroy and your nephew Tommy out there smoking weed together. But I'm supposed to be thankful for y'all coming together. So this the gathering together I'm supposed to be thankful for with y'all. So this is it, huh? Best you turn the Most High, it doesn't matter. You basically tell the Most High, it's okay that we still smoke. We still gonna come together for you. We still gonna pray, quote unquote, to you. The dumbest idiots. Right. And Sister Carl said, and got the nerve to pray over it. And got the nerve to pray over it. You got your LGBTQIA little nephew in there, little cousin. He coming in with his short shorts. You got your bull dagger, your bull dagger niece in there. She bringing her girlfriend. It don't matter. God loves everybody. You even invited your coworker Sarah, Linda, right? You even had her bring some of her raisin casserole, right? Then Ralph's job because said praying of a swine is crazy word. Everyone's saying what they thankful for. God damn. Let's go to verse 22, Salaki. Baba Kashan. Right? So it says, though you do this, right? Though ye is Old English for you, though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, though you may offer me that swine. You may offer me them pig feet, them ham hock and chitlins. You may offer me them collard greens with the bacon used as the seasoning. You may offer me those things, your burnt offerings, your cooked food. I will not accept them. So you praying over this burnt offering. You praying over this cooked food, Big Mama. You got soul food playing. You got to set the vibe. You got soul food playing. Mama, you know I love you. Right? Big Mama, your arm. Right? You got to set the mood. You got to have the movie going on. Though ye offer me burnt offerings, right? And your meat offerings, I will not accept them. I will not accept them. Right? Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Hey, listen, I'm not gonna accept even if you is cooking chicken, even if you is cooking pot roast, right? Even if you may have some lawful food in there, I'm not about to accept that. Right? I ain't about to accept that. This ain't Hanukkah. This ain't Passover. Right? This ain't none of my feast days. I ain't gonna accept that. Once you hit those notes, the classes. Hey, listen. I'm just saying. You gotta set the mood with the soul food. Right? Right? I ain't gonna accept that. Right? So I despise your feast days. What does despise mean? Right? Despise means to regard something or someone or something, right? Right? As insignificant, expandable, or little value. It can also mean to look down on someone or something, or to have the Lord's opinion of them. He's looking down on your goddamn Thanksgiving to Christmas, man. Right? Ah, man. Officer Yarborough Carr said, they kill me with the just come eat. You don't got to celebrate. Let me tell you something about that right there. Right? My mama just hit me with I know you don't celebrate it, but I still pack some food for you so the next day when you come over, you can have some. Listen, I don't want none of that food. I don't need it. because you still made it. You still made it for that day. You still made it to celebrate my brothers and my sisters getting slaughtered. You still made it for that day. How about make some food for a day when the goddamn white man got slaughtered, when our oppressors got slaughtered? I'm gonna eat all that. But I don't want to eat no food that was made for my brothers and my sisters getting slaughtered. It's like I'm an Abraham Lincoln all over again. I'm patting them on the back. I'm siding with the enemy. I'm siding with the AKA the quote unquote the bully. Damn right, Sister Ross said my family hit me with not celebrate. We just get together. Ain't no damn get together. Come and tell you what's gonna happen. They're gonna want to join hands. Okay, everybody, let's get together. Let's join hands. Let's circle up. Lord, we thank you for Sister Ra coming here and Officer Mataza and Officer Yabaka. Lord, we thank we ain't Christian, man. We ain't about to be slid into your Christianity. I don't want none of that food. Right? The Most High hates them feast days, right? He despises that pork that them Christians make on Thanksgiving and on Christmas, right? Christmas and Thanksgiving is not of God. New Year's, birthdays, Easter is not of God. It's not of the Most High, right? The Most High goes on to say, I will not Salaki. He said, I will not accept them either, right? He's not going to accept no burnt offerings. He will not accept those peace offerings of them fat beasts, right? He ain't going to accept none of that, man. Let's go to verse 23, Baba Kashah, right? He despises that rabbit, man. He despises that bear, that squirrel, that raccoon, or whatever meat you cook on that holiday, right? He would say, I would not accept them, right? He don't want none of that. You know, it's some guys in my slavery, right? Guys in my slavery, like, yeah, man, you ever had bear? Hell no, I ain't had no bear. You ever had turtle? Hell no. Rabbit? Hell no. Sister Zara said, my friend told me it was just a paint party, and I get there, they are setting up for a birthday party. Give that sister a hand. See, you see how Christianity try to sneak in there, right? My friend told me it was just a paint party, and I get there, they were setting me up for a birthday party, and I left. Yeah, I had to get up out of there. Damn right, sis. Damn right, sis. See how them damn Christians try to sneak you? They try to sneak you up on in there. Oh, them suckers there, man. They try to sneak you up in there. And you know what? Sisters, all right, you showed how strong you was. You show how, because they probably have some stuff in there that you wanted to eat. Probably see all your friends. But your strength, your zeal into this truth is what got you up out of there. And Most High Christ is you, sister. Strong sister. Damn right. Right? Right? So again, I got some guys in my slavery. They saying they eat rabbit, all that stuff, man. Listen, man. Bear. I don't want to taste bear, but I can just imagine how bear tastes. They talking about something tastes like beef. Man, listen. That's the custom that you adopted. Just by being a part of the Christianity, just by not being in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, that's the custom that you adopted. Right? You adopted that. And you is a subject of being a part of the Most High anger when he come and bring this world to shambles, right? So verse 23 says, and this for the church folk right here. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs. Grateful, 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 gratefulness. They saying that on Thanksgiving. That damn Christian song. I know y'all know about that. Yeah, y'all ain't been in the Israelite School University practical knowledge all this goddamn time. You know about grateful, thankful, them damn songs. Shit. That's what they singing. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, them hymns, right? He don't hear none of that. He don't want to hear that noise. That's noise to him. That's not a sweet melody. That's noise to him. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, right? For what he say? For this reason, for I will not hear the melody of thy vows. He ain't gonna hear that, man. He ain't gonna hear the melodies of your vows. He's not gonna hear the melody of them songs, of them notes. You may have some people that can sing. Listen, they probably can sing their tails off, man. But he ain't gonna hear that. He ain't gonna hear that. Most High ain't with you, right? Them slow ballads that they're saying to get you to shed a tear, right? Right? Or them fast tempo songs that have you gyrating all across the floor is not of God, man. Right? Let's go to verse 24 about Bashar. I'm gonna run through these. We almost there. But let judgment. But in contrast to me not hearing this, let judgment run down as waters. How does water run? Who can give me that? Water runs consistent. It's a consistent flow. And righteousness as a mighty stream. How fast is a mighty stream is real quick, it's real fast. A mighty stream is coming down, it's damn right, right, it's flowing, right? But let judgment run down as waters, it's flowing, and righteousness as a mighty stream. That judgment is gonna come at a never-ending stop. Can't no plumber fix this. No plumber can fix how the way the Most High is going to reign, is going to have these judgments come down on you. Right? Right? The judgment that the Most High is going to flow like water. Right? Water doesn't have a specific shape, right? Or direction. Just imagine turning your sink on and you can't stop the water from flowing. Right? Never ending. The judgment that the Most High has for you for idolizing worship these days are endless. Right? Streams have a fast pace to them. Right? Just for you idolizing and worshiping these holidays, you may get struck with a heart attack. That pork may get you. You may get hit with a stroke. You may get hit with some cancer from eating them unlawful foods, man. Right? You might get hit with an eviction. You might get your lights turned off, right? You might get your car repossessed, phone cut off, car problems, all because you want to celebrate these things, right? You want to get gifts, right? And fall behind on your bills. Most I ain't hearing that. Let me get Proverbs 14 and 12, Baba Kasha. He ain't hearing that. Right? And this is something that the oppressor, this is something that the oppressor made. This is something that the oppressor, this holiday is what the oppressor had put forth for you to celebrate. Not what the Most High did. Right? This is Proverbs 14 and 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto man. You going out and celebrating Thanksgiving, Christmas, getting the Christmas tree, getting that turkey. Now, Salakia, if your company giving out turkeys, right, you take that turkey and you make sure that you bring it in here so we can make it for our feast day, for our Hanukkah. We ain't gonna make that. You ain't gonna make that turkey for Thanksgiving, right? I was looking at the Car Chronicles with Captain Zaria, right? And the guy called in. He said, is it unlawful for me to attend an office party? Well, Cap was like, well, what kind of party is it? I mean, because if it's just a regular office party, it's just an office party. But if it's some type of office party that's celebrating some type of birthday or holiday, then that's unlawful. And he doubled back, was like, yeah, it's a Christmas party. Yeah, you can't. Well, that's do what you will on that. Right. That's unlawful. Right. So there is a way which seemeth right unto a man. It may seem right for you to, just to go to your family, Thanksgiving dinner. You Israelite, you know what I'm saying? You just gonna stand outside the door, you're gonna wait till they pray. And then when they done praying, you're gonna walk back in with your, and just act like everything good. You're gonna still eat the food. You're gonna act like everything good. Because you ain't, it won't like you held hands with them. It won't like you prayed with them. Right? You just there just to eat. But I would rather die than to eat that goddamn food. If Officer Mataza, Officer Yagadan here, I would rather die. Right? Yo, they know what I'm talking about when I say that. Than to eat that damn food. Right? Because it's unlawful. Right? So there is a way that seemeth right unto a man. Right? Yeah, right. Also, y'all kind of know what I'm talking about, right? There is a way which seemeth right unto a man. Right? But in contrast to this, the end thereof are the ways of death. Right? The ways of death, man. That's the ways of death. You going out here eating this food. If it ain't made by Sister Debra or Sister Deborah, right, or any other sisters in here that partake in making this good food, right? Right? Then it's it ain't right. It's unlawful. That's unlawful food. Because I know if Sister Deborah make it, if Sister Ra make the food, right, it's for a lawful day. And I know that food is gonna be delicious. That's why I can't wait till December 14th. Right? I may take off my slavery on that Monday just so I can enjoy myself that Sunday. I ain't trying to worry about going to work, slave the next day. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do that because I do have some sick days to take. Right? Right? So there is a way which seemeth right unto man, but the end thereof are the ways of death, man. Don't go to that Thanksgiving dinner, man. Don't go there and eat that damn food, man. Because the Most High see that. The Most High see that, and the Most High, he got a clever way, right? He has a clever way of unaliving you, right? And I don't want to be part of that clever way that the Most High can unalive you. All right. Let's see where I want to go. Let me get because now that you know this truth, now that you know not to celebrate these holidays, and now that you know not to eat this food, you know, and now that you know which feast days, because we have a feast day coming up, which is the Feast of Hanukkah, December 14th. Now that you know to not to partake in these things, take me to Hebrews 10 and 26, Baba Kashan. Hebrews, I believe is where I want to go. Hebrews 10 and 26. Right? Because that's important. Yep, Hebrews 10 and 26, right? So, Hebrews 10 and 26. So, for if we sin willfully, right? For if we sin willfully after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, you attending this class is you receiving the knowledge of the truth. You learning, right, not to, eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, not to go to this Thanksgiving. This is a PSA. This is an alert. This is an alert. This class right here is an alert right now for you to not go and celebrate Thanksgiving. Because for if we sin willfully, now if you go to that Thanksgiving dinner and eat, now you're sinning willfully after you now knowing the truth. For if we sin willfully after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, what Christ say? There remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. Because what did Christ do? He already sacrificed himself, right? Christ can't go and sacrifice himself again just because you want to smoke weed after you know not to smoke weed, right? He can't go and sacrifice himself again after you don't ate pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, knowing that you've been told not to eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. You can't do that. For if we sin willfully after that we have received knowledge of the truth. Real quick, what is the knowledge of the truth? What is the knowledge of the truth? Real quick in the chat. We almost here. We done. What is the knowledge of the truth? Right? What is the knowledge of the truth? It's an easy layup question. Right? The knowledge of the truth. For we sin willfully after. Damn right, sis. Damn right. She's still here with me. Damn right. Right? Right? Real quick. Damn right. These laws, statutes, and commandments. Damn right. Knowing who you are. Damn right. Let me get let's see. Let me get Psalms 19 and 9 real quick. And this is gonna be it. Let me get Psalms 19 and 9, Bob Kashaw. Right? Because we don't have to fear our mom. We don't have to fear our dad. We don't have to fear our grandmama, right? Auntie, right? Fear them for saying like, yo, I don't want to do this. I don't want to celebrate this, right? I ain't doing this no more. We ain't got to fear that, right? Don't fear them. But what it say? This Psalms 19 and 9. It say what? The fear of the Most High power, the fear of the Lord is clean. You fearing the Lord is clean. You fearing the Lord of saying like, hey, I can't celebrate this because I know that the Lord is watching me. And I fear the Lord's judgments. I know this truth now. I fear it. For the fear of the Lord is clean, right? Enduring forever, right? Which means like fear the Lord forever. Always fear the Most High, right? The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. I mean, like what? What he's saying, what he gonna do, he gonna do it. He ain't gonna lie, he ain't lying, he ain't gonna cap to you. He's saying, look, if you do this, I'm gonna punish you. If you do this, I'm gonna unalive you. Now you go ahead and do it. But if you do this, I'm going to punish you. Right? The fear of the Lord is clean and enduring forever. The judgments of the Most High are true and righteous altogether. Right? Meaning he true to this. He ain't new to this. He true to this. Real quick, let me get that. I believe it's Matthew for we know what we worship. For they don't know what they worship. I believe that is that's John Slaki. That's John 4:22. John 4:22. Slaki. I said Matthews. Right? Right? This is why you should fear the Most High. This is why in the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, we know what we not supposed to do and what we supposed to do. Right? We know this. Right? And this is in red. So what? Christ is speaking. Right? It says what? Ye worship, ye know not what. Christianity don't know what to worship. Christianity don't know how or what to worship. How we know this? Because they still celebrating Thanksgiving. They still voting. They still having birthdays. They get mad at you for not doing it. Right? Not knowing the oppressor bring over these holidays. The oppressor bring over these religions. Right? That's why it's important to stay strong into this truth and know the history and know the true history. Right? It's to the point now, if you know the true history, you know what I'm saying, of what's going on, you in the wrong. What John 4:22 say? Say, ye worship ye know not what. You worship what you don't know what you worship. We know. Who is the we? The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, the men and women in here. For we know what we worship. For salvation is only for the Jews. It's not for Islam. It's not for Christianity. It is not for none of these other false religions out here, man. All right? None. Right? So real quick, let me get a one in the chat if you understand what's going on here. That's why it's important to gather yourselves. That's why it's important to attend class Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Commander Muhammad, Commander Salaki, Junior Muhammad, right? On Thursdays. That's why it's important to attend these classes Monday through Saturday. Really? Sabbath, right? It's important because you will learn more about yourself. You'll learn more about your family. You'll learn more about your culture, right? We is not your enemy in here. We your brothers and your sisters. You become a foe. You become an op. You become an enemy when you go against us. But we still gonna love you because why? This is how brotherhood and sisterhood works in here. Showing the love to you is by telling you like, hey, you ain't supposed to do that, sis. You ain't supposed to do that, bro. That's us showing the correct and proper brotherhood and sisterhood in here, man. All right. See, we got some ones in here. Okay, and so with that, all right, we are the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, St. Harm, New York. Rule for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to her brother or sister. There was another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. All right. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8, and 10. Right? Means 10th in the Hebrew Maishra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you. All right. Give to the treasury department or a teacher. Okay. Priest fund, free will offering for the priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We have the Feast of Hanukkah. Right? Hanukkah coming up, and I can't wait. December 14th. Let's get it on. We're gonna be in North Virginia at the school. We're gonna be eating. We're gonna be grubbing. We're gonna be married. We're gonna be doing what we do. All right. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, they have to start wearing all black boot, shirt, pants, headband, scarf, and call that number 757-550-1204. All right. All right. And so with that, Shalom Yahabashim Yahshua Barakatah to the brothers, and Shalom Yahabashim Yahshua to the sisters. Shalom.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All black Hispanics and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yohanan. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.